Woke up, told myself to push and never stop. I've been stressed out, watching both these hands around the clock with my eyes wide.
We're here in downtown Dallas, and this area right here, I guess you could say, represents corporate America. You know, here in the city, you've got CBRE, you've got Baker McKenzie. All these buildings look amazing. It gives off this kind of appeal. I know when I was younger, I used to skate through places like this, and I'd look at these buildings and just like wish and fantasize about me being at that level. I was like, man, I wonder what it's like. You see these people hustling and bustling and coming out of these offices, and it's like, man, you know, those people, their lives must be so freaking amazing, you know? And so I set a goal. I was like, that's gonna be me. I was like, that is gonna be me. And I made that happen. And I ended up in corporate America, and you find out real quickly that things are not the way that they appear to be on the surface.
The wrong idea about me, Mr. Valiant. I'm a pawn in this, just like Roger. Can you help me find him?
And so these companies, they appeal to us. It's like this carrot on a stick thing, you know? It's like, hey, if you come here, like, you get to work in this environment. It's just like marketing, just like advertising for consumers, right? You come work in this environment, and this is what your life is gonna look like. That's not what your life is gonna look like. And so they're like, oh, well, you sign this contract, and you sign yourself away to us, and you exchange your time for money, and what do you really get in return? You know, you think that you're getting job security in return. You think that your company cares about you. They make you feel like you're unique. And the real game is that you're not unique. The companies, they will eat you up and spit you out without a second thought. You know, I watched during the oil and gas downturn, they just took people by the boatloads. It was almost like the Holocaust, into rooms and just right, laying off thousands of people because of the downturn. And guess what? Here's the sad thing about it is these companies, when you're working on the inside of these companies and you see how they manage their business, these guys, like, they make these decisions, but they don't tighten their belts. They don't do anything to bolster themselves for the next downturn. What do? They just go and they're like, oh, brrr, and then they keep living the same way that they've been living, you know, incongruently, spending more money than they should be because they don't care about the employees. It's about the high-flying executives.
What about how you feel loyal to the company?
So company loyalty. So you bleed the company colors, right? Like I want to give you guys my personal experience. So I went to work for this company that I thought was a world-class corporation, S&P 500 company, fantastic company, great, right? I bled for that company. I put in so much sweat equity to that company, only to find out that, you know, in the end, they just were like, okay, we don't need you anymore. Boom. And that was it. I did everything that I could. I was on call for people. It's like, look, you can call me anytime you need something. You can call me evenings, whatever. Cutting my vacations short. Cutting my holidays with my family short because, well, I got to get back to the office and I've got to grind it out because I'm team company. I am team company, like rah, 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 right? And it's like, man, where did that get me? Well, for me, fortunately, it got me to this realization, to realize it's like, okay, wow, it doesn't matter how much work you put in. It doesn't matter how hard I try. It doesn't matter how great my personality is. If I'm not in the inner circle, then my efforts they don't go unnoticed, but it's like, oh, everybody, now you get recognized and you get pegged as like freaking captain, I can do everything, you know?
And you bleed the company colors, but what, in the grand scheme of things, what does the company just see you as?
In the grand scheme of things, the company sees you as a number. It's just like, think about like, your livestock. That's all you are. Your livestock. You're human. You are human capital. That is literally what the definition of an employee is human capital.
Is it personal?
Huh? And it's not personal. It's not a personal thing. It isn't a personal thing. And here's the interesting thing.
It's just business.
It's just business.
It's not personal, Sonny. It's strictly business.
But guess what, though? In this two-sided transaction, that's how the company feels. The company's indifferent because it's just business. But we, as a person, we feel, we bleed, we have feelings. And so we get into these interesting situations where we feel that, oh, well, what I'm doing is not in the best interest of the company, or I'm going to sacrifice my health, or I'm going to sacrifice time with my family. I'm going to sacrifice living life and creating experiences for a company that doesn't even share the same sentiment towards me.
So let's go back to the beginning when you were like you were having fun riding scooters in a park like this, and you lived the so-called dream. Now you're here at the park again, older,
and now
with
I'm older.
experience,
It's crazy.
and now you're riding a scooter around. So now, what do you think was actually the important thing?
Dude,
so you already had it. Your youth.
Already had it. I had it. Like my vitality. I had my vitality, my youth, my
excitement
about life, my vigor, being alive. It's just like, oh my gosh, it's so crazy when you put it that way. You think about it, it's like you look at the contrast. It's like, how ironic is it that like we're back in the same place?
So now you see all these companies, these big buildings, and you have no desire to go in there and like be at the top floor. And
exactly. But you want to know something that's important? I'm grateful for the experience because it opened my eyes and it made me aware of the ability and the potential that I can create my own life. I don't need them to create and craft the life that I want. And that's what's amazing. And until you've been in there and then you've been chewed up and spit out, I really don't think that you're in a position to come to that realization. But when you do, and if you do, it's freedom. It is absolute freedom.
So what's your overall message for
my
people?
Overall message?
Yeah.
Live your best life. Live your best life. Be you, create experiences, and make sure that everything that you do, you're always thinking about your legacy.